Green or blue spells? Hold on. Hold on, viewers. We're gonna figure out what we're playing today. I'm gonna see if I got any Simic decks that are cool. Because I'm way too tired to build one. I'm just gonna kind of stick to a deck I already got going. I have the Simona deck. That's pretty cool. It's Sultai. Uh, so this VOD might be a little bit short. I played Star Wars a little bit too long because I'm still like getting used to OBS. I figured it out to where I can do my music stuff and actually hear my guitar and stuff. So the next stream we should be back to scheduled content because I still got the dancing done today, luckily. Um, I could play mono green too. I'll play mono green. I don't feel like dealing with mana screwage. Get mana screwed. All right, I'll play mono green. The first time I played this list on stream, I went 6-0. You don't have to believe me, but I did. Pretty sweet. Got pretty lucky that night. All right, this is my Vivian Reed list. It's kind of a Super Frenzy green list. So here we go. What does she do? Well, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Reveal a creature or land card. Put it in your hand. Put the rest of your bottom library in random order. This is my favorite Planeswalker, like, of all time. Still to this day. This is the first mythic I got. Probably one of the first this is one of the first mythics I got in this game. Because they gave it to you for free. Her -3 is Broken Wings. So, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Sweet. You get an emblem with creatures you control, get 2/2, have vigilance, trample, and indestructible. Basically wins you the game or starts getting the ball rolling. I think her ultimate's sweet. It's not win the game on the spot by itself, but gets the ball rolling. Lizard Ball, I think this card's terrible. Like it's really good, obviously, but it's one of my most disliked cards. It says choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature you control gets 1/0 and gains indestructible until end of the turn. Then those creatures fight each other. The indestructible I feel like is unnecessary. It's just this card is incredibly powerful. Let's move on. Bushwhack. Bushwhack's the same way. You can search your library for a basic land, put it in your hand, or if a creature fights a creature you don't control, card's insane. Again, Pelt Collector, this guy's cool. He's a 1/1, and then when creatures come into play or they get removed from the field, not via non-exile, they perish. He gets a 1/1 counter, and then when he has 3 or more 1/1 counters, he has Trample. Excellent card. Prey upon target creature fights creature you don't control. Sweet. Tail Swipe. Choose target creature you don't control. Control and don't control. Cast it during your main phase. Creature you control gets 1/1, then they fight each other. Excellent. Got tons of fight effects. Thirsting Roots. This card's sweet. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put in your hand. Proliferate. Proliferate means you take counters on permanents, add 1 more to them. You can put counters on players this way too. This is important for poison counters. That's the big main reason you do that. I can't think of any other counters that go on players right now. I'm sure there's probably one more. You line up the shot. I think this card's sweet. It says choose one. Conjure a card named Plummet in your hand, which makes a creature with flying perish. Aim for the cursed amulet, pops an artifact or enchantment, and then fire a warning shot, draw a card. So, like, you do one of those 3 things. So, this card is very versatile. And it's instant. Traxxas Fall, this is sorcery, but pop target artifact, battle, enchantment, or creature with flying. This hits a lot of different card types. So it's a Broken Wings, but it's 2 mana and it hits battles too. Like this card's nuts, honestly. It's just it's sorcery. It's the only thing that's bad about it. Bayou Groff, this is a plant dog. As an additional cost to the spell, you either sacrifice a creature or play 3. He's a 2 mana 5/4, so he's huge. We could probably take him out though because we only have 1 drop. So fight down. Creature deals damage equal to its power target creature or planeswalker. You'll see a few of those in this list. Canker Bloom, you choose 1. You can sacrifice it. Pop artifact, pop enchantment, proliferate, cards nuts. Copper Long Legs, reach, sacrifice it, proliferate, sweet. It's a 1/3. Remember, reach means it can block creatures with flying. Cosmic Hunger is bite down, except it affects battles as well. Devouring Tendrils, creature planeswalker, and then when that creature gets removed, when it perishes, you gain 2 life. Yeah, and there's tons of these nowadays in green. Literally, green's probably still the strongest color. I'd say white's kind of catching up to it because I think white's better than blue, but green's still probably the best color. Anyways, Description of Abundance, kicker, you choose one. If you kick it, you choose them all. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Target creature gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. Target creature fights target creature you don't control. Sweet. I wish we had can't remember it, but it does it's that primal and it's the life gain effect, except you do its power and its toughness. So you can gain it's like a 2 or 3 mana card, so you can easily gain like 12 life off of it. It's nuts. As long as you got a good catalyst. Vigilant and Ixalan, this card's good. You look at the top 5 cards, from may reveal a permanent. From among them, put it in your hand, put the rest in the bottom library in random order. When you win the battle, because this is a battle, so you play it on your opponent's side, and then they're protecting it. And then when you win the battle, you get the other side of the card, which is Belligerent Regisaur. It has trample, and then whenever you cast a spell, you gain it gains indestructible. This card's good. A lot of the battles are really, really, really good. They're a lot of value. Crawl Harpooner has reach. When it comes to play, it checks your graveyard for as many creatures as you have, and then it gains that much attack, and then it fights a flyer. So it's flying removal. Master's Rebuke, same thing as Bite Down. Nissa's Triumph. You search your land or your library for 2 basic forest cards. If you have a Nissa Planeswalker, instead you search your land for 3 land cards. Search your library for 3 land cards. Forgive me, like I said, I'm really tired. Polendrite Druid. As battlefield, choose one. You put one counter on target creature or proliferate. Prize Fight, fights a creature, gets a treasure token. Smell Fear, proliferate, fights up to 1 creature you don't control. Adaptive Sorcerer, enters battlefield, choose 1. Gains 2/2 or proliferate. You'll notice that there's a lot of proliferate in this list. It's because it's a Super Friends list. Animus Might, costs 2 less if it targets a legendary creature. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. We have tons of these effects nowadays, so I pretty much jammed them all in. All of them that pretty much aren't Rabid Bite. All the ones that hit both creatures and planeswalkers, which Rabid Bite doesn't. That's why I call them bite effects, because Rabid Bite's like the first one we got. Oran Reef Ooze enters battlefield, puts a counter on a creature, and then when it attacks, it gives 1/1 counters to everything that already has 1/1 counters. Bouncer's Beatdown. Costs 2 less if it targets a black permanent, deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. And if it would remove it, it exiles it instead. Carnivorous Canopy pops an artifact, enchantment, or a creature with flying. That permanent's mana value is 3 or less. Proliferate. Mind you, this is a sorcery, so be careful of that. Charges of Forever Beast. I like this one because it's those bite down effects, except it reveals the card from your hand. So you don't have to have a guy on board, because that matters sometimes. I really like this card, Contagious Vorak. When he enters battlefield, look at the top 4 cards, and you can grab a land. And if you don't grab a land, you proliferate. He's a 3/3, so he can act right away. That's what I like about him, and he gets you lands, so you can play the game. Evolution Stage, Landfall. Whenever a land enters battlefield under your control while you have Evolution Stage out, you may proliferate. Or I think you do. Yeah, you do. You have to. Fight Rigging, you've seen this in other green lists that I have. Hideaway, when it comes into play, you look at the top 5 cards, tuck a card underneath it, and then at the beginning of combat in your turn, put 1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the card for free. Mage Duel, this costs less if you cast another instant or sorcery this turn. Target creature gets 1/2 until end of turn, then fights another creature you don't control. This kind of allows you to remove something to gain. Savage Stomp costs 2 less if you can target a dinosaur, put 1/1 counter on target creature, and then it fights another creature. We almost have too many fight effects in this list. It does come up, but when this list curves out, we just are constantly removing things, and it really steamrolls. Tandem Takedown as the fight thing, and it does it to battles, and it counts 2 creatures instead of just 1, so it's great. Topari Raider Stomper enters the battlefield. You get a search your library for a basic land part, put it on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Can't attack or block unless you have 7 or more lands. So remember that card's very, very slow. Varia, Silvery Moon Ranger, has reach and ward 1. Whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, venture in the dungeon. This ability only triggers once each turn. Whenever you complete a dungeon, you create a 2/2 green wolf token. He's just here because he's got like reach. That's basically why he's here. And his little ability, if he's like left unchecked, the dungeons do give you a lot of value. Okay. I was thinking we had other dungeons, but we don't. For Vivien, Champion of the Wilds, I think this card's sweet. You may cast creatures as though they had flash until end of next turn. Up to 1 target creature gains vigilance and reach. And then look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down. Put the rest bottom of the library. For as long as it remains exiled, it may cast if it's a creature spell. So idealistically, you find a creature spell. We are kind of creature light in this list. I think we only have like, it's like 29 creatures, so it's actually pretty creature light. Because we got a lot of removal, like a buttload of removal. So, Wayward Swordtooth has Ascend. Ascend means if you have 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing, and then certain effects activate after you get that. And it just it needs to happen one time. Once you get the magic number 10, you get the City's Blessing. You get it for the rest of the game. You can't lose it. So you can play an additional land on each of your turns. Can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. So it's basically like Topari Raider Stomper, except it's a 5/5 and it doesn't have vigilance. So they're both pretty good. They both have their boons. Eliwood Tumblestone. She can venture into the dungeon +1. Play the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card among them, put it in your hand. If it's legendary, you gain 3 life. Put the rest of your bottom library in random order. You get an emblem with creatures you control have trample and haste and get 2/2 for each differently named dungeon you completed. She's just kind of there because the dungeon thing is like a pretty big value engine after a while. Bloomhawk enters battlefield, proliferates a 4/4 for 4. Excellent. Hunter's Mark costs 3 less if it targets a blue permanent you don't control. Can't be countered. Does the whole fight power thing, whatever. Questing Bees is legendary, so Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Bulldoze. I'm just going to call that. Can't be blocked by power 2 or less. I'm just going to call that Bulldoze. Combat damage can't be prevented by your creatures. Like, if it's your creatures, it can't be prevented. If your opponents, it can. So if you're, like, playing fog effects, it doesn't screw you over. Whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent, you deal that much to a planeswalker. Venomous Brutalizer. He's mostly here for his Toxic 3. When he enters battlefield, he can play 2, proliferate. So he gives us an alternate wing con by giving him poison counters. Arcbow Ranger. This card's sweet. Sure, 2 1/1 counters among 2 target creatures. Up to. You can put it 2 on 1. They gain trample until end of turn. It does the fight thing again. Or the bite thing. It's a bite spell. This is one of the first ones that we got where we started to get more of those bite effects. This is like the second card we got of it. And then you can't use the -5 in Brawl. But I'll read it to you. You may reveal a creature card you own from outside the game and put it in your hand, so you can grab creatures from your sideboard. This card's sweet. The only reason it didn't see too much play in Standard is because it's 3 green. But this card, if she can stick around for like 2 or 3 turns, her +1 I think is really, really strong. And her removal, it used to kind of be special. It's not really special anymore. Doubling Season. It's the whole reason we're playing this list is because we got this card. And if effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many instead. We don't even make tokens in this list, so ignore that one. An effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control. It puts twice that many counters on it instead. That's why we play it. This also shakes people's hands at Walmart. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, you add an additional 1 green. And then you can put 3 1/1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control. Untap it, becomes a 0/0 elemental with vigilance and haste. It's still a land. Remember, it doesn't turn back into a creature or a land that's safe. So you can lose a lot of lands this way if you're not careful. Then you get an emblem. Lands you control have indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Sweet. Vivien Monster's Advocate. Look at the top of the card of your library at any time. May cast creature spells from the top of your library. Create a 3/3 green beast token with put your choice of vigilance, reach counter, or trample counter on it. It's just a versatile creature spawner. Her -2 is whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library card for a creature card with lesser mana value, put it on the battlefield and shuffle. She's mainly here because she makes dudes. Why she's here. Red and 7. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way in your hand. Plop the rest of them in your graveyard. Good for loading your yard. Good for you making sure you hit land drops. Put any other land cards from your hand on the battlefield tap. Create Tree Folk green. Tree Folk with reach, and its power and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control. Turn all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. Excellent. Mainly there because it makes it makes the tree tokens. That's why it's there. Kogla, you see this in every single green list that I play because it's probably one of the best green cards, period. Enters the battlefield, fights up a target creature you don't control, beats them up, usually wins because it's huge. When it attacks, pop a target artifact or enchantment, and then you return target human. Kogla gains indestructible, so it can rescue humans and rescue itself. Excellent. Vivian on the Hunt. She's got a really funny face. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. Put on the battlefield tap. Mill 5 cards and put any other milled creature cards in your way into your hand. She's literally only here because she makes 4/4 green rhino tokens. Otherwise, I'd probably just take this card out. I don't think it's this card. Like you really got to kind of build around it. Otherwise, I don't think it's that good. And we're not doing that, so. Like half these planeswalkers could probably go and get replaced with creatures. Nissa animated Animus. She has completed, so you can those Phyrexian mana symbols, which is the end. These ones here, you'll see them right here. You see on these are the Phyrexian mana symbols. You can either pay 2 life, or you can pay the green. If you pay 2 life, you minus off 2 loyalty. She creates an XX green Phyrexian green horror token, which is her loyalty. So she makes big dumb monsters. Pops the target artifact enchantment for -1. And her -7 pretty much wins us the game in this list if we have like 3 creatures. Till end of turn, creatures you control get 1/1 for each forest you control and gain trample, so they just become gigalithic and then swing in. Plane-wide celebration, I just felt like playing this. Choose 4, you may choose the same move more than once. Create a 2/2 that's all colors. Turn target permanent from your graveyard and hand. Proliferate, gain 4 life. Excellent. Probably wins us the game if we do the proliferate stuff. Thorn Mammoth, trample. Whenever he enters battlefield, another creature enters battlefield under our control. He can fight stuff. If this guy sticks around, he can just beat up your opponent's team. So, Sandward Convergence is card sweet. Creatures with flying can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of your end step, create a 5/5 green worm token. This card's sweet. Just makes big dumb worms at the end of the turn, constantly churning out stuff. The flying thing's pretty relevant. It hates on flyers. It's one of those really interesting green hate flyer cards, which is nice. Great Henge, you'll see this in like every green list. You should always play this. Chaos X last cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap it, it gives you 2 life, and it gives you 2 green. And then whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield in your control, put 1/1 counter on it, and draw a card. Tarrasque, when this comes into play, has haste and ward 10 as long as it was cast. Whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. Probably wins. It's a 10/10, so it's pretty insurmountable. Ulamog of Ceaseless Hunger, when you cast a spell, exile 2 target permanents, indestructible. Whenever he attacks, exiles the top 20 cards of your player's library, eventually winning the game. When invasion enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with X mana or value or less, with mana value X or less. Put it on the battlefield if you search the library while you shuffle. Then it turns into Zathora, the apex of Ikoria. Creates a non-human creature you control. You may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. This is like a special Pierce effect. This is a little bit of a rare effect, but it's really good. So basically, if you swung in with an 8/8 and it was blocked, instead of dealing damage to the creature, you could just be like, yeah, you take 8 damage. And that probably wins you the game under a lot of circumstances. So, Voracious Hydra, this card's cool. If you bump enough mana into it, he just becomes huge. When it enters with XX 1/1 counters on it, when he enters battlefield, you choose 1. You double the amount of 1/1 counters on it, or he fights a creature. Then we just got 39 forests and 1 card's Bastion. I really was like sick of drawing colorless lands and not being able to play stuff, so I was like, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and not play any other lands. We're not playing it really any lands that come into play tapped. I really wanted this list to play stuff right on curve, right on time. So you could definitely change the mana base, obviously, as you see fit. But I think stuff's strong nowadays. So there is merit in just being able to play your stuff on time with no hassles. We're up against Monkey. They're playing Muldroth at the Gravetide. I haven't seen this card in a while. She's a cool commander. I might have to play her sometime. But she can cast cards from your graveyard, one of each type per turn. You still play the mana costs and stuff, but I'm gonna play green. Say go. Monkey, what do you got for us? Have a monster cookie. We can play an inscription. We're not going to. Pretty slow start. Like I said, I would adjust to probably put a little bit more creatures in here. Maybe remove some of the removal. Or take out some of those, like that Vivian Planeswalker, the one that like makes those 4/4 rhinos. She's pretty meh. I always thought she was pretty meh. They go. But I'd probably put at least one of the Death Touch buddies in, the lower costed ones, like the 1 mana ones, preferably. Maybe you can even put Finn the Fangbearer in too, for like to follow the whole toxic poison counter thing. So that's probably a modification of this list that I'll eventually make. What is this? Kicker. Mill 3 cards. Each time is kick. Power. Creature cards in your graveyard. Toughness equal that +1. Cool. Venomous Brutalizer 4/4 with Toxic 3. Can't pay the 2, so it doesn't proliferate. Again, like I said, you could probably play off the poison counters, maybe add a few more toxic guys in. You know, maybe pump the brakes a little bit on the removal. We do have a lot of it. Do it because it's good, though. I will put the 2/1/1 counters. Fight Shieldred. Bit of an inefficient use of removal, unfortunately, but what can you do? Send them. Deal 9. Say go. Hit a Warefinder, enters battlefield, like looks for a land. Yeah, you could actually swap out some of the land finding stuff for creatures like this guy. There's a few of other ones of those. Possibly holding up a counter spell, but we're gonna play Great Henge. Ooh, goes off without a hitch. Vivian Reed. Come to me. Rather Frask. We already played a land this turn, I'm pretty sure. Just send the 6/6. Hold that Canker Bloom because it can block, and we'll probably try and plusser, proliferate. We'll get Ren and 7 down first. Make tree, proliferate, because Acorn becomes tree. Ren 7. Sure. Acorn becomes tree. A questing beast came in like a questing beast. Send him. You really want to block that? It's got Death Touch. Again, like I said, you could probably play Finn, the Fangbearer. Maybe tone down just a touch on the removal. It's not a bad thing either. Like I said, when this list curves out, we got so much removal, we're just constantly removing our opponent's stuff. And we're dealing with creatures. We're a little bit light on artifacts and enchantments. It's really on how you want to balance it. Good one that you might add is Shower of Arrows. They recast Shieldred, trying to gain themselves probably a little bit of life and such. Because when they draw cards, they gain life. So, and then this card is just hyper efficient, 4 mana, 4/5 with Death Touch. Doesn't get much better than that. Obviously, you can't read. It's a 7/7, so this just eats it. I mean, they've lost anyways, so maybe I'm just being rude. Yeah. Yeah, I was probably just being rude there. That was my bad. Yeah, we beat them. Again, like I said, this deck is absolutely insane when it does its thing. I forgot to put the magic music on. Forgive me. Card's nuts, though. And another one. Again, it's mono green, though. Mono green's probably the strongest color in Commander. Or just not even in Commander, just a Magic. Green gets a lot of good stuff. You can do pretty much anything besides have a. The only bad thing about green is when it falls behind. When it falls behind hard. Hot. We'll keep it, see if we get enough creatures and such. Got 2 removals, Great Henge, and Thirsting Root. That's why we run so much removal in this. We do all these removal stuffs and things. Scales, Earth Roots, Search, pluck a land, say go. Yeah, there's definitely quite a few different ways you can play this. You could probably swap out some of these green lands for the MDFCs. But to be fair, you get 2 creatures because you get the Mana Dweeb and then you get the Mana Vixen. It's actually pretty good. You go ahead and play the Arcane 6. Get rid of the Ozolith. That stores counters for him, so quickly get rid of stuff. That can become problematic. Rocco. I still have to play this guy. Eventually I'll make a deck with him, because this guy's absolutely asshole. Yeah, because Rocco, he like offers you cards, and then when you play them, they get benefit. Puts 1/1 counters on things and gains a food token. Another thing is they removed our doubling season. This is like our win condition right here. We plop this down, we plop Vivian down. And, yeah, literally, they get the benefit as well. So. Hold out for one more turn, see if any of our cards can kind of rescue us from this situation. Probably can't, because we'll probably just play Scurry-Oak. go on to the next one. They're really far ahead of us, so I'm not gonna sit there and play that because they're really far ahead of us, and we can't get ahead of them. Because again, we're green, so we have to be doing stuff right away. That is the weakness to this list, is that we should probably be playing a little bit more creatures. We're just not, because in a perfect world, when we draw the perfect hand, this deck's absolutely mental. But again, like I said, that's the one weakness that green still has, is that if they fall behind, they can lose. Because we don't get like Azuri's Predation and stuff like that. Just one of the few true forwards. Chuckles, playing Talon, the Kindly Lord. There's Chuckles. Chuckles. Chonkles. Should actually change our avatar too. That's the problem with this deck. We got the wrong avatar. Do that later when we There you go. Like I said, the next time I play this list, though, I'm going to make a few modifications to it. Try and run a few more creatures. Maybe tone back just a Scarab. Stick to the proliferate game plan, but add some poison counter. Mix in the Fangbearer. I like to take this because we don't want to proliferate here. It's not going to benefit us. Three damage. A Chuckles. Chuckles. Playing Talion. That's somewhat of a slow start, maybe. Maybe high hold up counter spell is cool. It's sorcery. Yeah, this card's an instant, too. Insane, bruh. Insane. I'll play this. Because its other thing it gives a creature 2/2 until end turn. That's pretty sweet. Modest. As modest as a mouse. We got first Chuckles. Chuckles? Lane. Talion. Yoo-hoo! Sticky! Says I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I says I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Still have yet to play this guy. I don't even think I have this guy. This guy's pretty sweet though. It's a very interesting commander. That's tons of removal. Yeah, like I said, you want to run this one for removal, though. You definitely want some of the Death Touch buddies for 1 mana. There's like 2 of them I can think of off the top of my head. There's one from Lord of the Rings, the spider that gives legendaries Death Touch, and then there's like Moss Viper. I think there's one more in this game that gives, it's like 1 mana Death Touch guy, but it's got a little bit more value than a lot of the other stuff. I could have waited.
A world of monsters? This is my paradise. We will adapt to any threat.
Could have waited. We should probably play double sleeves at first. Because then once our planeswalkers comes down, they can ult right away. Ulting right away. Helion's Messenger. This kind of like a lackluster Raffine. What's the counter on the fairy? I'll play Vivian Reed first, because if something's gonna get the counter spell, it's gonna be her. We're getting another land next turn anyways.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
Ikoria! Call to the house party. You see my dog? Ikoria! Cyclade Vault kicks it! BC boys! Ikoria! Wizard class. This got buffed in this game. This card's a lot better in this game because this usually costs 5 mana. That only costs 3 in this. It only costs 3. Trains. Into counter. Because it's whenever you draw cards, it puts counters. That's a pretty choice. I've got our beast. That keeps everything at bay. Bay.
How this thing goes is up to you. Sometimes restoration means retribution.
Yeah, retribution. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
Stompy. Stamp him. Ikoria! The new martial arts move for the night. Ikoria!
Nothing a poultice can't heal.
Hey! Ikoria! I'll cut you!
Every day's a new temptation. The wilds are my shield.
Grab Evolution Stage. Back. whiff, so they proliferate. I think this is a land. Oh, you can grab any land. I didn't even realize. I always thought this was basic lands. Yeah, this card's nuts. That's any land. Any land. Burning down the trailer park.
We will adapt to any threat.
I'll return with larger predators. No one said restoration was painless.
Glad that we did that. We gotta get rid of that, otherwise it's just gonna keep accruing a bunch of value. Vivian's gonna perish here anyways. No real reason to rescue her. Oh no. Don't have enough mana.
I aimed too high.
Aimed too high. Might keep the same word conversion. We can get this down, we'll be in good shape. Because then their flyers can't attack. That's doubling season. Attempt to. Lets it happen. Because I stopped paying my things and they kept my bill. Unfortunately, we're 1 mana short. I'll just call it there. We have 1 more mana, we would have been fine because we could have cast our Sandworm thing, but I bet they're gonna draw a counter spell, counter our thing, and then we're gonna lose anyways. So let's go on to the next one for the sake of time. Like I said, I'm getting tired, so do a few more matches. Like I said, I'll probably, the next time you see this list, it's definitely gonna change. Probably 100% gonna put in on some Death Touchers. Gonna cut down on the Planeswalkers a little bit. I'll probably just do doubling season with Planeswalkers that if they double season, they win the game on the spot. Like Vivian, Nissa who shakes people's hands at Walmart, Ascended Nissa, which is good. Yankee Bro. I take out that other Vivian, the M21, that'll probably go too. We'll keep this hand because we got 3 lands. Hopefully we can find a creature. We definitely want to probably try and jam in 2 of the 1-mana Death Touchers because we got so many. But it's nice to see this card back in play. This card's sweet. Other pirates you control get 1 line at the beginning of your end step. Gain control target non-land permanent by a player who's dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. Card's just cool. I actually get to see Pilot Tribal. I'm not even playing Snow with this. I should be playing Snow. Red Air don't care. There's no reason for me not to. I just forgot to think. Then I have Brawler. This card's sweet. Great Hen. There we go. Those combat damage if you have Seed Blessing. Draw card. I haven't seen some of these cards in like literally like 3-4 years, dude. This is like tight. I'm actually up against Pirates. Such a cool list. Like for real. This is something that's actually cool. Pilot's Tribal. What does this do? Any of it? Oh, that's tight. I'm gonna start playing that. Hold on. What game's playing? Here we go. Boss.
I speak for the wilds, unbound and unknown. Diversity is our greatest strength.
Smack them. Try and thin their pirate count so back at Raz can't come down and steal our stuff. So like I said, this guy's a very fair card. That's why Pirates didn't take off too much. He's very fair. Hey, this is the other version of him. Admiral Brass. Unsinkable. Enters battlefield, mill 4. Beginning of your turn, you may return target pirate card. Ally counter. Has base power of 4. That's pretty cool. Finale counter means when it gets removed, it gets exiled instead. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
The wild balance comes.
Gracious Hydra. And the Brack instead, like creatures with the deck. They'll define.
We will adapt to any threat.
This guy is Vigilance, so remember Vigilance attacking doesn't cause it to tap. This is cool though. I'm really glad you've been playing against Pirates. Even if we lose this, I don't even care. This is tight. Magmatic Galleon. I remember this card. Deals 5 damage, tries to reach your opponent controls. Whenever excess combat damage, create turn the 2. Yeah, this card's pretty sweet. It's a bit expensive though, in my opinion. This is definitely the better card. Emerald Brass and Sinkhole.
Strike me, and you strike nature.
Nature!
Nothing stands before nature.
Excuse me, nature. Nature coming through.
Every day is a new mutation.
Go ahead and get rid of this. This card's good. Honestly, I think this card's really, really good. Think through this thing. It's not gonna rescue it or nothing. Nature! Whack 'em. Sock 'em boppers. Yeah, I mean, we can take just a lot of damage. I mean, 15, 31, less than 16. This is not a pirate, so. Unfortunately, that doesn't count as a pirate. Unfortunately. There's a cop card.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
Like a land. 3 or planeswalkers there. That's. Yeah, they call it. I don't blame them. Like I said, our all basically wins the game with that. Probably the reason why I played this deck. Like I said, I'll probably do something that does something with the poison counters a little bit. Need to craft a few cards for it that I've been meaning to craft for a while anyways. Ooh, lucky us. Let's open a pack. Opening pack. Please stand by. Choose 3, maybe choose the same one more than once. This card's pretty sweet, actually. Nice, this is basically like Cry of the Carnarium. That's pretty cool. Enters, create a map token. That's pretty sweet. The map tokens, if you don't know, well, you probably don't. It's 1, sacrifice this creature, target creature you control explores, activates only as a sorcery. Explorers, you look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a land, you put it into your hand. If it's a non-land, you either keep it at the top, or you put it into the graveyard, and then an exploring creature gets a 1/1 counter. Like I said, we'll open these 2 packs. I'm going to do this last match. And I'll just call it there since somebody's there anyways. So, but next stream, for sure, I was looking at that stuff. I looked at my computer and I got it working. So we'll definitely be doing more music stuff. Open these 2 packs quick. Because do the Lost Caverns first. Kind of mythic. That's what we get. This card's sweet. This Teething Blade or Tithing Blade. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Beginning each upkeep, opponent loses 1 life. You can gain 1 life. I think just the first part of that, an artifact that causes that, that's sweet. I gotta play a Tezzeret list. So expect that pretty soon too. Owner of target artifact or creature, mana value grade 1 shuffle. The player discovered X with X mana value. Got Mythic Wild card, which is excellent because then we just pick what we want. Excellent. What I may do though is I may double back through all the commanders that I've already done and kind of do a few like updated versions of them, because I kind of want to do this for us like broke people, where it's like, oh well, we spent our wild cards on these cards. Well, you kind of have to, you know, live with that decision. So whatever creature you control explores the land card. That's pretty sweet. This is a cool little explore payoff commander. I could definitely see explore being put back on the map with this, because this is good. That's way good. The only thing that really holds it back is that this is legendary. If this wasn't legendary, it'd be a lot better, because then you can play it as a 4-of. Reach and Haste, still Lamb Black. I've seen that. That's pretty sweet. Wow, this is really good. Creatures you control get 1/1 until end of turn for only 2 mana. That's rare. That's usually at least a 3 or 4 mana effect, at least. Then creatures you control gain hexproof. This is really, really good. Gonna play that in the Okinkyu Ahu guy. Ahu. Create a colorless gnome. Sunshot, tap 2 artifacts, deal 1 damage. Enters, it explores. This is sweet. I mean, a 4/3 that explores. I like explores mechanic though. I think explores good. 1000 Moons Smithy. Oh, it gets a Karnstruck. Karnstruck means it counts the amount of artifacts you control, and then that's its power and toughness. Oh, it makes Karnstrucks. That's cool. Might have to bust out Gold Forge Garrison eventually. That may play lands from your graveyard. Pernero Behemoth. Brass Tunnel Grinder. Oh, this is really good. Yeah, this card's sweet. Draws 3 cards for 4. Yeah, I'm glad I got another one of these. This Queen Kayla bin Krug. This card is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I gotta play a deck around her sometime. She's absolutely insane. I'm super glad we got this. We're definitely playing this the next time we go on stream. 100%. I've been wanting this card. This card's tight. And we got another value. That's good. That's my second one of those. I like playing Abzan. Abzan's actually my favorite 3-color combination is Abzan. It's actually Abzan and Mardu. I like them both like pretty much evenly. Like it all depends on like what I'm feeling that day, but I'll definitely never say no to playing Abzan. Yeah, I was gonna say that's my 3rd one of her. Which I would actually play her in Historic as like a constructed list. But she's actually good enough to do that. This is my 2nd one of those. Let's see. Oh, this is my 3rd one of this. I thought it was only my 2nd. Yeah, this card's good though. It's because it's got the first strike death touch combo, which basically means you need removal to deal with it. You can play additional lands. Creatures, non-basic lands you control enter a battlefield tap. Whenever it attacks, sacrifice creature land, then draw a card. I'll play a really competitive list around her eventually, Thalia and the Gitrog monster. Because you really... She's one of those cards you don't need to try with. Like, even if you don't really play around like her draw effect, which is kind of negligible at best, she's still a 4/4 for 4 that requires removal to deal with and causes things to come into play tap. Like, that alone is already good enough. The draw effect is just gravy, honestly. When Taurus canned, can do attitude because he's con. Can do it. Bushwhack, grab a creep or a land. Got a bunch of land draw on this list because it's green, so. Like I said, next time you see this list, it'll definitely be changed. I'm probably gonna cut down on the Lanewalker. So I kind of was like, you know what? Mono green, Super Friends. Discard one of these lands. Because we're not drawing lands. Cold Steel Heart. Enters tap, then they choose a color. Quite common mana rock. I have this card, I haven't played this yet, the Ironcrag, but it's another mana rock. That's what's noteworthy about that card. You can just turn into an equip though, so. Sure, we'll line up the shot now. Actually, I'm gonna wait. Because these I don't really care about. There's mana rocks, so. Plays Quintoris. I got this guy. I gotta build the deck around. That is, whenever you cast a spell from exile, deals 2 damage to each opponent, you gain 2 life. And he makes spirits too, which I play Spirit Dragon, so. See you later. Say go. Kyler. That's a pretty cool name. I haven't seen Light of the Stage in a while. That's a good card. Fire a Warning Shot. Smells Fear.
Tear this place apart. You can't stop nature.
There's land. Can't stop nature. Nature!
Scars are lessons written in skin.
I'm surprised they bargained.
Well, someone had to save the day.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
Haha, you're toast!
caster.
Would you like to? I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Let's grab the creature because we got two lands in hand anyways. He can stay down. He can probably start cleaning up. So we got two removals. Next time, definitely next time.
Whew, it's gonna get
Get
scorching
lost.
hot.
Not bad for a mouse.
Fuel up.
I haven't seen this card in a while. This card's sweet. Curse of silence. Curses. Okay. Blows. We'll go Cave Entrance, Lost Mine of Fandelver. I'll take Invasion. It doesn't matter. One to each. There you go.
I'm ending this fight.
Double casting spell. Takes 2. She only doubles spells once per turn. And Katana. And Katana. Go
We can
mana.
do this together.
We know this together. Don't tell your mother, but we can do this together. Ooh, does nothing. Nothing! Exile this. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. Mod. Create the 1/1. More important than treasure token. We're at 10 mana anyways. We don't really need it. The treasure token. The treasure token. We don't need it.
You can't snuff my flames.
Can't snuff them. You can sniff them, but you can't snuff them.
Fuel up.
The Eternal Wonder.
Surrender now, and we all leave with our lives. Make room.
Hey. No way planeswalkers work, dude.
Here's a spark of hope.
Man, we're starting to run away at the game. Oh no!
We can do this together.
Do it together.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, they might have us
Every fight. You can't stop nature.
here. Take the Canker Bloom, it has 3 attack. And this list could use a little bit more creatures. Maybe if we can find Questing Beasts fast enough, we might be alright.
I brought backup. Got a feeling this'll work.
Yeah, they're probably gonna win. This Call Vivian.
I've seen squirrels hit harder.
Maybe if we can
Let's
get a
do
creature
this
or 2
again.
down, we might be able to do it. Have all these fight spells that work, but they're all fight spells, so they got us. They got ahead of us. It's green, so again, this list probably needs more creatures. Honestly, it really does. We're gonna call it there because I'm tired. So I'll put up the edited YouTube videos of this, and yeah. So you have a wonderful day. Nobody came by, but you have a wonderful day. You stay safe out there.